And to discuss the latest developments in former President Rodrigo Duterte's case at the International Criminal Court, we are joined by ICC Assistant to Counsel Atty. Kristina Conti. Good morning, Attorney. Thanks for joining.
Yes, good morning.
Alright, so siguro una muna, ano yung reaction mo, Attorney, dito sa supporter ni former President Rodrigo Duterte na si Alvin Zarzate, yung mga comments niya that VP Sara's remarks should not be used as a basis for the ICC's interim release decision?
Well, I think this is misguided. First, because the ICC looks at the entirety of the context. Yung detention niya, ang standard of proof is that it does appear that detention is necessary. And with that, everything within the context is included. Hindi lang yung sasabihin na nating akusado. Actually, right now, Angela, the term is suspect. He's a suspect, not even an accused, kasi there are no charges yet. But nonetheless, there is a finding that there is reasonable basis to believe that he has committed crimes. And it appears to be necessary that he should stay in detention. This appearance goes into what he says, what he does, and what all those around him do. And to be frank, that includes Duterte supporters. Although it is not hinted at or mentioned in the decision, you know, the actions of the Duterte supporters are also concerning to the ICC. And it's very crucial what they say. Yung isang punto na I would even say this particular supporter has parroted and carried is that Duterte has been kidnapped. And for the ICC, that is an indication that they are repudiating the jurisdiction of the ICC. Kasi pag sinabi mong kinidnap ka, edi kapag nakalaya ka, kahit temporarily, hindi mo nagugustuhin bumalik pa dun sa nangidnap sa'yo. And therefore, this indicates that they do not recognize the legitimacy of the proceedings. They have to keep their story straight.
So do you also believe, Attorney, na yung mga interviews and statements of the Duterte camp, specifically the Vice President and of course other siblings, ay nag-backfire din yan doon sa naging desisyon ng ICC?
Oh yes, and rightfully so. The ICC will consider everything, as I mentioned. The entire context will be considered, and considering that the president or former president was allegedly in cahoots with Sara Duterte in the Davao Death Squad. Si Sara Duterte ay hindi lang naman simpleng mamamayan o simpleng anak na ngayon lang nakita. Siya ay tinuturing nga na prinsesa ng DDS. For a time, she or Rodrigo Duterte was in charge of Davao where the killings were happening. Within the scope of the ICC case, that's 2011 to 2016, sila ang namamayagpag dyan, Vice Mayor or Mayor ng Davao, either one of them. At yung participation in the DDS is by virtue of your position, not only as mayor or vice mayor, but your position in the Duterte family. And therefore, the position right now, the ICC also mentioned this, the position of Baste Duterte is crucial as well. As vice mayor of Davao, he would also have access to the same resources as they had before and to the DDS, Davao Death Squad. Wag na po tayong siguro malilito kasi they tried to subvert the idea of the DDS na Duterte diehard supporters ito. We're talking here about the Davao Death Squads who committed the crime. But also the ICC, in the question for interim release, will have to look into the acts of the Duterte diehard supporters as well. Kasi yung the mere fact that you could joke na itakas na lang si Duterte is really concerning. Kasi ang daming supporter na nandyan at 24 hours yata nakapalibot sila dun sa detention facility.
And I think at some point, kasi 'di ba parang nagsabi rin si Vice President Sara Duterte no na bawal na kami magbigay ng mga interviews, and I think that was an advice from their counsel because of eto nga maaring gamitin against them.
Precisely, so they knew that. Actually, I would even say that the jail guards would have told them this is in the regulations. Whoever visits a detainee would have to be kumbaga briefed as to what you can do, what you can talk about, etc. I'm pretty sure they knew that they could not discuss things that were mentioned during the detention. In the earlier videos, binabanggit na nila yun eh, na
Right, right, right,
sorry, hindi
right.
namin pwedeng pag-usapan.
Oo.
Pero sasabihin ko sa inyo, okay siya. Later on, naging absoluto na halos na parang
Yeah.
hindi na namin pwedeng pag-usapan. So it's
Yeah.
not just the legal team. It's also the detention
Right.
officials, which is also why, I'm sorry, I'm going to bring up the issue of
Go
Hanilet
ahead.
Avancenia, who was, I think, banned from leaving. Well, Attorney Kaufman, Nicholas Kaufman is correct. He has no power to ban a person from visiting a detainee. It's only the detainee himself who can say, who can ban someone, or the detention facility officials if they see this person as a threat to security.
Right. So if ever niyan, of course, hindi naman si President Duterte magbaban sa kanya. It's the facility, most probably. Right? Oo.
Ako, i-open ko muna yung possibility. Kumbaga, hindi ko alam eh. So
Pero
the only
talking-
people who could have banned her.
Right, right. Pero why do you think, though, this I will have to ask you again, and I'm sure, why do you think that they would they know the legalities of everything, of the consequences of the things that they would say and do, pero somehow they would still push yung brand pa rin nila na, hindi kami susunod?
Well, one, they have to play to an audience. They have to play to their supporters who are always expecting an update when they leave when they leave the detention facility. They're outside asking for updates. They have to talk to their supporters all over the world. And second, this is the mark, and why do they say this? This is the mark of entitlement. Kung alam mong hindi ka naman mananagot dun sa mga sinasabi mo, kung alam mong hindi naman, kahit pasabihin ko to, hindi naman ako papakialaman or hindi naman ako maaabot. Kumbaga parang untouchable. Ganun kasi ang kalakaran sa Davao, ganun ang kalakaran sa Pilipinas nung naging presidente na sila. Kahit ano pang sabihin nila, kahit magmura sila. At ito nga dito kay Pulong Duterte, kay Congressman, talagang pagbabanta. Sanay sila na nakakalusot sila. They can get away with anything. Kaya katulad ng mga nepo babies, 'di ba? Na hindi nila alam. There is a lack of self-awareness. Hindi nila alam kung anong gagawin after the incident. At in fact, yung iba pa, biglang nakikita mo, nag-Japan pa pala. Their only world, their only universe is that of entitlement. And therefore, they're having a hard time adjusting to the new circumstances.
Okay, so, well, we're talking about backfire, no? Ito, idagdag ko pa yung, nakasama ba yung Senate resolution also, urging the ICC na i-house arrest na lamang ito si former President Duterte due to humanitarian reasons?
The Senate resolution was discussed on September 30th, I think, end of the week. Pero apparently, the decision was dated September 26th. 2 weeks after lang natin nalaman. And I would say it was not even considered in the decision. But now I'm thinking, it could go, or it was trying to go into the appeal. But unfortunately, again, I would have to raise, huyo ang Senado sa ICC. Lalo na, they have no relations. The Senate is in the legislative branch of a non-member state.
Right, right.
Paano yan officially mapapaabot? And then second, the contents itself is problematic. Does it talk about facts? Is there any medical report attached to the resolution? There is none. So clearly, this is just mere political posturing, and therefore cannot be considered when the court is considering facts and evidence.
Okay, let's say hypothetically, sabihin ng Senate or ng Pilipinas natin through its Senate, balik tayo sa ICC and gawin nila ito through their appeal. Would that matter at that point?
No, not even, because this is a case and the only parties to be heard are
Right.
the prosecution, the defense, and the the victims. Technically, the member states could also weigh in through the Assembly of States parties. And the only question to be asked of members, in a sense, would be, would you be willing to host him? If the Senate statement or sends for house arrest also includes a commitment from the Philippine government that we are willing to host him, that we are willing to abide by the conditions, and if we break any of the conditions, we will take on the consequences,
Okay.
then maybe it will be considered. But as of now, the Senate appears to be acting like a defense counsel even for Rodrigo Duterte.
Right, right. Alright, so what happens now, attorney? Alam ko may appeal pa rin sa kabila ang defense. Is it likely, meron pa tayong mga precedent before na yung ganitong mga klaseng desisyon ay na-overturn?
I would say malabo na. In fact, I would say that the defense has moved on to the other issue. They're actually focusing on the other issue, which would that be of competency, yung fitness to stand trial.
Right.
Kaya dapat daw ma-adjourn na yung proceedings. So, they're now focusing on the adjournment request, and the court is now currently qualifying experts. In a sense, this one is mas malaki yung premyo, kumbaga. This one has weightier consequences dahil kapag sinabing unfit to stand trial, the proceedings will be adjourned. The case will be archived. At technically, hindi siya lalaya. Yun naman yun eh. Medyo may problema lang dahil kung sabihin na hindi siya fit to stand trial, lalaya na ba siya? Hindi rin. Kasi may problema siya. And he would have to be committed to either a hospice, a hospital, or a care home probably para masagot yung kalagayan niya. At sa totoo, dahil yung fitness to stand trial, it's not a medical term. Di ba? Fit to go back to work, yun pa yung mas alam ko na pwede mong kunin sa doktor. Eksperto ang makapagsasabi kung unfit to stand trial ka. At kung ganon, you will have to be checked, sabi ng ICC, every 120 days if you continue to be unfit to stand trial because things could change.
Right.
Kaya you will still be under the custody of the ICC, probably under more relaxed circumstances. Pero nonetheless, whether
Hindi siya
interim
makakauwi pa
release
rin.
or unfit to stand trial, still to be monitored by the ICC.
It's good that you clear that up, attorney. Of course, kasi syempre, yung ibang mga supporters ang iniisip nila na kapag okay na napatunayan na yun nga, meron nga siyang, kumbaga hindi na siya fit to stand trial, pwede na siya makauwi dito. Pero what happens now? When do we know? Diba? When do we know the decision ng ICC? It's either kung fit siya sa trial or hindi.
Naku, wala akong control dyan. But the steps would be, one, they're qualifying the experts. There's the prosecution has agreed na, ito, okay kami sa ganitong experts. Can we have a number na odd numbered? So, 3 or 5, wag naman sigurong 7. Baka sobrang dami na nun.
Right.
So, I think they're looking at 3 or 5. The defense has also weighed in. Victims have also weighed in. The medical officer of the ICC detention facility has also weighed in. Here's the thing. So the experts will look at diagnostics. So exams, lab results ni Duterte. He has 2 at least. The CT scan done in May and June, yung MRI naman. There was also a psychiatrist who looked at him, who has already interviewed him. So pwede na yung tingnan ng expert. But what if the experts say, kulang? Yeah. So there would be a round of diagnostic exams done upon Duterte. That could take time, and then yung results nun, yun yung aaralin ng experts.
Okay.
Again. So,
Medyo
I would say
hindi
it
nga
could
natin.
take months.
Right. So if ever mapupush pa yung trial, if ever by next year pa. Pero while we are waiting for that, are there other arrests that are coming, particularly sila yung mga nandoon sa case, sila Senator Bato de la Rosa, Senator Bongo?
Well, I would say the one for Senator Bato de la Rosa is long overdue. He should have been arrested. He should have been issued a warrant of arrest at the same time as Duterte. Kasi sila ang ulo ng tokhang. Yung isang nagsasalita, yung isa ang nagsasagawa. Kaya yung kay Bato de la Rosa, it's only a matter of time. The fact that he has also been mentioned in several documents already, not only because of his statements, but because of what he has done, is indicative that the ICC looks at him as a co-conspirator or co-perpetrator also. Ang mollifying naman dyan na parang, o sige, ba't mga ba ang tagal? Ang sabi nila, well, in cases or situations, there could be at most, in other situations, up to 6 accused in a particular situation. Kumbaga, what happened in the Philippines, up to 6 accused, kasi that's what happened in other countries. But to take note, there are 16 other cells in the detention facility. Ito, kasya pa kung aabot ng 16 ang akusado sa Pilipinas. Pero yung kay Bato de la Rosa, it's only a matter of time.
So you would say before the year ends, makakakita tayo ng mga arrest warrants?
Well, we hope before the year ends, but there's a complication. It has to be implemented.
Alright.
So kung announcement lang, palagay ko anytime. Pero yung implementation
The how is the question.
Also has to be factored in.
Alright, so I have so much questions for you, but unfortunately we don't have much time. But for the meantime, maraming salamat po sa inyong oras sa ICC Assistant to Counsel Atty. Kristina Conti. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ingat.